Okay, so we're going to actually read the top all the way across. We're going to read the last lines. These are the last lines of the standard, the one that appears in my Nusach Svard Sitter. But there's more, actually, I see also. So it says, we're on page Tov Kuf. Hey. Anthu Chachim Chachim V'lo B'Chachma Yediyah. So we have to explore what that could mean. Antum Mevim V'lo Bina Yediyah. It's not the ordinary bina. Lis loch asa yediyah. You have no specific place. Ella the ish the modach tukfok v'chelak the b'nei nasha. The only reason why I guess designate a place for you is to show, manifest, or we see some reference to you, for your power, the b'nei nasha, is to show that to us. We have to see what that means. To show them, the human being, how the world runs, Medina v'Rachme. The Inan Tzedek of Mishpat, the names of Dina v'Rachme, which is Zohar v'Nog, are Tzedek and Mishpat. Kafun v'Deichel de B'nei Nosha, so everything runs according to the deeds of people. Din ihu gevura. Now the din, we understand this as gevura. Mishpat amuda de emseisa. It's the middle line. Tzedek malchusa kadisha is malchus. So tzedek. So he says there's a balance scale. Trin samke kashut. This sounds like it means netzach and hod. Hin tzedek os bris. So he says the hin is going to be the yisod. We know these things for the purpose of being able to show how the world works. But not that there is a designated thing called tzedek, a yediyah, the ihu din, v'lav mishpat yediyah, the ihu rachmeh. But to get some definition on what he means by that. V'lav mikol ilan midos klal, and none of these midos at all. Okay, so now let's we are rolling. Okay, so let's go now and let's read the Pirush Rahut. So this is going to start on the by right below number Lamed, a little introduction. Achshin is bayer eich or ha'ein sof baruch hu mechayich mashlim kol hasviros. And we've gone into some detail to see how the Slavshus, to the Ein Sof and everything. Yefarish ELIYAHU Hanavi Mishmuas Kinui Sfiras Chachma Bina. So I'm going to talk about these two. She'ein HaKavana, the Kavana is not like this. Shehem Atzmo Chachmasa V'Nasu Shala Ein Sof Baruch Hu. It's not to explain that they are actually explaining essence, that they themselves are his Chachma and his Vina, Shala Ein Sof. Akshuhu Yizbarach Nikras Chacham Mevim, he called by those names. Ukufishim Befarish for all of that, he's called by those names. In other words, he's inside of those names, something like that. Okay, let's read the Pirush Rahut. He says, Ant Chacham V'la B'Chachma Yediyah. Ata Chacham V'la B'Chachma Yedua. Ant hu Mevim V'lo B'Bina Yediyah. Ata hu Mevim V'lo B'Bina Yedua. V'Kavanas Alomer, what's he trying to say? So we have spheres, they have names. His hata'arim halalu, these adjectives, these descriptions, tovsim ba'atzmusa yizbarach, they do not in any way, what would you say, acquire his essence, or they're not describing his essence. She'im came because if that's the case, and we're saying, well, he's a it's a little hard to hear, but it's that he's She'im came ana magvidim asachas v'shalom. We're bounding him. Al shekashem islavish or ha'eins of baruch hu b'chachma nikra al shema. So that is that the light which is inside of the chachma, the light of the Ein Sof, he says it's called by the name of the place in which, by the garment, in other words, this sphera in which it resides. His lavshus bebina, same thing. His lavshus bebina, ein ato arim misarim mitarim also. But the names, one understand this, they're not describing him. Yisbar klal v'klal, not at all, not at all. Let's read a little bit more. Let's see, just a little bit more on this part. So he says, so he has a little blurb at the bottom. Eliyahu and Rabbi Eliyahu and Navi comes to teach us. A Navi od klape ha'ein sof baruch Hu, a little bit more in the direction of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. If we said that, or we did say that, together with that, we said that. So this is a phrase that says, you yourself have no designated place. Ein lecha makom yedua, ki ein lecha mugval al sfiras l'shros v'chem v'lihispashit b'sochem, ki einoch, you mugval, ki einoch, you are not bounded by the spheres, ala spheres, l'shros v'chem v'lihispashit b'sochem, at this spread into them. B'kom masha hagvalas atzpecha lehispashet b'sfiros enu ela deish demoda tukvak v'chelok l'bnei nashim. So that's phrase. He translates kedei lehodia tukvak, your power and strength, l'bnei adam, people, for to us, sheyada rabim b'chol al yedei midasecha, that we should, by looking at your midos, that is your manifest in midos, then we should be able to see you. Yishiyadu, but know you, mimecha, from you, ayedei midasecha, by understanding your midos. And then what does that mean? That means that the world is really set up in a balance scale. This is where I understand it from other places. He says a balance scale. To be able to see how the world works by these two sides. Dinun tzedek and mishpat. Let's look at it more closely. They're called tzedek and mishpat. Shehem zun. That's also zun. Another word, yizun. Shenit tzedek and mishpat. Now he wants to give us a definition, which you've seen before. Za nikra mishpat v'hu midas arachamim. U'malchus nikra tzedek v'hi midas adin. Now the way that the flow of the light of the Ein Sof works is it depends on what we're doing. Because if we're doing, and our kavona is, as we're learning and as we're davening, if our kavona is to make a yichud in zun, so he's saying malchus is normally full of dinim. And that's the world that we live in. So what will we do with it? We want to sweeten that world up because it's a world of dinim. So this causes the psak adin, or whatever's going to take place. I'm not sure what psak adin means over here. I was maybe saying that all the interactions that one has really are in a balance scale, I guess. And so the psak adin for any situation in which one finds himself internally or externally will be judged like that, or adin barachamim. All the hafach, but then the opposite, unfortunately, is also true. Shebesibes averos mizrachek tzedek mish, but it causes the two of them to go together, to lose or not be in a state of yichud. And then malchus runs along the way, it's a straight way. There's no one to sweeten it. And that can happen. So we see, therefore, that everything is really in that balance, depends on how we're behaving. So let's see how we're doing time-wise. We have like 3 minutes. So, in 3 minutes, let's see, we have a number Lamed Aleph over here, but it goes on to the next page. I don't think we'll make it. So let's read on in the blurb, in this little blurb coming up. His boyer Eich ha'ein sof mislavish b'sfiros lahanhig olam b'han kagaso toluya b'masa b'nei adam. So we said that. Of the drush, the Kumon, as we get further on now, Yefarish Eliyahu Hanavi Eich Ube'eza Ofen Manhig ha'Ein Sof Baruch Hu Olava be'emsos Zion Midos through the medium of the 7 Midos of their Anpin and the Nuk. All right, now he's going to describe him. He says, Chesed, Kavod, Tiferes, Netzachod, Yesod, and Malchus, how it is that through those channels that the world is working. So the Chesed explained by itself. Gibel manking of below the Bechesed, V'koinen Bechesed, Kiso. So this may be a fact that I don't know. He says, Ki bo manhiga olam Bechesed, and the V'koinen Bechesed Kiso. They called his Chesed his throne. L'hisnageg in bono, to be able to manage human life, but midas chesed, through the midas chesed, v'yaska the forest spheres gevura. Then we're going to start talking about gevura. Okay, so I guess we'll stop here. And I can go any more, and we'll come back and we'll start looking at some details on this little piece next time.
All right.
Yeah.